Hey everyone, just before we begin, this video is a re-edited upload of a reaction from our previous and now deleted channel, so please check that you subscribe to this new channel here, enjoy the review, and we look forward to seeing you in some new material coming very soon. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where today I'm going to be going right back into the babymetal history as far as we can go. Now, as you guys know, I've been checking out babymetal for a long time, trying to build up a list of top 5 songs by hearing all of the notable songs, and then you guys told me, I should have guessed this, that they actually came from an idol group, that they were a subgroup, Sakura Gakuin, check them out, and it had been mentioned, but before that they were a member of, I thought it was Karen's Girls, but now looking at it, it's like Karen Girls, but with a possessive apostrophe S. So Karen Girls what? It's really confusing. But anyway, yes, I'm going to be checking out Over the Future, as you probably just saw, by Karen Girls, which features Sue. I don't know if it features the other 2 members though. I think it's just Sue who was in this group. But anyway, you guys tell me. Let's stop waffling and check it out. And let's try and break that one down. Okay. First of all, yeah, I'm actually quite impressed how much I like this song. I was mentioning this when I was talking about the Sakura Gakuin songs, is that with them, you're kind of thinking, well, I know what an idol group song is, you go in, and they kind of all fit into a relatively safe genre, and I'm not saying there's nothing particularly risque about this. This is fairly obviously just fits within that bracket of what a idol pop song can be in Japan. And that's usually not a bad thing, actually. It's surprising, as we also mentioned before, how much detail goes into Japanese pop. A lot more than often you get in Western pop. I hate to say that, but on an average, it tends to be quite high. So a lot of people have a slightly downwards view of idol groups. Myself, I've always kind of avoided them, partly because I don't like the system, the whole thing with graduations and stuff. It all feels a bit forced and not kind of more like a reality show than a musical thing. So I must admit that I've kind of stayed away from them, but I do actually still listen to quite a lot of J-pop, even if I avoid that particular thing subconsciously. But as a result, I think that the quality of Japanese pop tends to be quite high, whether you like the style or not. And so it's not that I was expecting a bad song, but I was just kind of expecting something relatively neutral. And actually, that had a good chorus. It moved along at a fair old rate, had a nice arrangement. It was just actually a much better song than I thought it was going to be, especially considering it had obviously been written for, now I'm going to have to work this out, I believe from the minor bit of research I did, and I try not to do too much, like I always say, I love you guys to give me the comments and I kind of follow, I learn through you guys, makes it much more interesting, but I did do a little bit of check on this before I looked at it, and I believe, if I'm correct, that Karen Girls or Karen's Girls or whatever was a 2008 thing. So if she was born in 1997, that means Sue would have been 11, I believe, in this. Correct me if you want. I'm just, like I said, this is off the top of my head. So the other thing that comes up is when you've got a group of 11-year-old girls doing a song like this, you kind of think, who is this aimed at? And clearly there is a market within sort of like 11-year-old girls for peer presented music. I don't know, but it just was quite interesting that it's that they start so young, and you get these groups start at such a young age. I guess you have like equivalents in things like Jackson 5 and all that, going back a bit there, but obviously that was kind of more of a abnormality in itself. As far as I'm aware, this isn't a huge thing in the West to have these young pop groups, and so I always find it quite strange when they're so young, but they're doing a song which is obviously quite high quality. It's good fun pop. The video is absolutely amazing, and I mean that in this kind of, I don't know whether I'm complimenting them or not, because I have no idea how far their tongues were in their cheeks when they made this video. There was no payoff as to what the boxes are. I know the song's called Over the Future, but when I think of the future, I don't just think boxes. The future is boxes. Where are they going? What are they doing? What are they for? No one knows. And just people teleporting in and out of places. Teleporting into a lift. If you can teleport, what the hell do you need an elevator for? I'm overanalyzing it. The point is, though, is that either they took that seriously and that was kind of like them accidentally creating something brilliantly fun to watch by mistake, or they didn't take it seriously and they just did a really good job of doing a silly video. Either way, I liked that video. I thought it was just bonkers and kind of so bad it was good. So I guess the final comment is in regards to Sue herself, which I thought was most of what I was going to be commenting about. I was surprised to have so much to talk about on this song. But when it comes to Sue herself, the production was very high value in this song. I would personally say, some might argue, but I think considering what they were doing, the production was very high value of the song. And so I think that there's no way that anyone would have ever come out of that, any of those girls would have ever come out of that sounding bad. I think the producers and the recording engineers would have made sure that the quality of the production was fantastic anyway. But I still think it's really nice that she managed to deliver, along with the other girls, such a fantastic song. Performance-wise, their voices sounded good. They sounded like 11-year-olds, but they sounded apt to the song, and they sounded stable, strong. It didn't sound like there was any auto-tune or any correction in there. I don't know how many takes they had to do. It sounds like I'm being a little bit derogatory here, but just being realistic about the fact that they're quite young, and this was presumably their first professional project. Still, they got a fantastic final finished product out of all of this, and it was amazing to see her so short but still looking so much like her, and this progression from what she was then to what she is now, seeing her standing on sort of big metal stages dressed in black, looking, when she needs to, doing the little scowling face and all that. It is amazing, the progression that she's gone through. And as I said when I watched the Sakura Gakuin graduation video recently, I just kind of hope in my heart that she still has, considering the path she's been through, I hope that she still has the ability to appreciate the two types of music she's done. Because as I also said in that video, and I'll try not to repeat too many points, but you sometimes get people who go from one style of music to another, and then they kind of write off their previous work as being history, and I'm so over that now. I think it's all got to be extra strings to the bow. So I'd like to think that if the opportunity came up, I know she probably wouldn't do it anytime soon, because obviously she's very much in with metal fans who are not particularly forgiving when you do something that isn't metal, as proof of her latest single, which is very heavy, but apparently a lot of people have gone against it just because it's not raw metal enough. But anyway, I like to think that she could, if asked, go and do a pop song and enjoy it, for her own sake. But I am just glad, nonetheless, to see the progression she's been through in a fantastic place that she's got to. And it is amazing when you see that. I mean, I feel like after this review, I'm going to go from watching that and I'm immediately going to put on like the latest babymetal and just have a look at it, because it is just an amazing change that she's been through. So credit to her, fantastic stuff. I know that she's basically just an artist in a produced pop band, being, now metal band, being given music and told what to sing. But she has brought her own character to it. She's developed with it, and you can't do something if you don't have chemistry with the material. And as much as she looked like she belonged in an idol group, she looks like she belongs in a metal group. So it's just fantastic to see that she's achieved so much, and at such a young age. Not trying to be derogatory and patronising, but at such a young age to have achieved so many things is fantastic. Anyway, enough waffle from me, although that is what you come here for. Nonetheless, I will be doing more, so feel free to give me suggestions. I try to follow up on them. There's so many suggestions. I try to do my best, but for now, from Japan, ciao.